I didn't want to listen. I didn't want to listen to anyone. And anyone that would have said something against my beliefs, it was a boring person, or they weren't fun, or they didn't know what they meant. And also, that was their life. You know, things are not going to happen the same to me. What is it like watching the women around you so blatantly destroy their ability to bond with men? Wow, because I've been there, I really know what's going to happen. And it's kind of annoying to know what the future will bring for someone, and having witnessed them being so deluded about themselves, it's kind of frustrating. It's frustrating because you know they're not going to like it. And basically, they're not going to be able to cope with the consequences of their choices. Because the funny thing is that when you are an asshat and you insist being an asshat, you're that type of person that's not going to be able to cope with the consequences. It's basically when humans make a lot of noise about something, not only that's what they are going to be scared about the most, but also they're not going to be able to cope with those type of circumstances. And seeing women around me screwing up their life, and also their children's life, and also their husband's life, it's frustrating. And I used to think that it is for me to try and change young women or to try to educate them. And I realized I'm kind of a big hypocrite. Or if I didn't realize, it has been brought to my awareness that I'm a hypocrite. And anything, there's not for me to say how to live your life as a woman, because I myself haven't been a good example. It's basically similar with a smoker and an overweight doctor that's preaching you how to be and how to behave and what to eat and what to do with your health. You'd be like, Doc, what are you talking about? I mean, look at your results. Why would I follow someone that has results opposite that I want to follow? It seems to me that when we focus so much on changing the world, it's taking away the responsibility you have as an individual to change yourself. And this is what SJWs are doing. It's true, some of the problems that these groups are highlighting are real. Yes, things do happen. Everything is half true. But at the same time, by spending your life and your resources and focus protesting and trying to preach to other people how to behave and how to live their life, and also to point out their mistakes and their character flaws, is basically taking away all that energy that you could invest in yourself to change yourself. Because we all have these blind spots, and they're blind spots because we can't see them. And by focusing on other people's blind spots, it's not that we're not right. It's not like you've seen that it's really easy, or at least it's easier to see other people's blind spots because you see them. It's different to look at yourself unless you have a mirror. I also remember when I was younger and I was at least as arrogant as the young women we see today on the social media. Whenever an older woman, because in my terms of a teenager, an older woman meant in her 20s. You know, that was an old woman for me. And I didn't want to listen. I didn't want to listen to anyone. And anyone that would have said something against my beliefs, it was a boring person, or they weren't fun, or they didn't know what they meant. And also, that was their life. You know, things are not going to happen the same to me. That was their life. That was their mistakes. Obviously, I'm not going to repeat them because it's me. And you also have this deluded idea that you're going to be young forever. I don't know what's the point with that. I think that is really foolish. I still have this idea. And I know it's not true. It's like my brain is kind of deluding me that I'm going to be young and I'm going to live forever. maybe nature is kind of deluding you, so you basically just throw yourself in every situation, so you try things. I'm not sure. I think you have to have a sense of illusion, because otherwise you wouldn't try things. And if humans wouldn't have tried things, we wouldn't evolve. And obviously, if you're realistic and you are not with your head in the clouds as a young person, you wouldn't try things, because you would see with your eyes that the world is not as easygoing or so beautiful or without dangers and so on and so forth. I think if young women would have a sense of danger, they would not get impregnated. If a woman would judge these things with her brain rather than her womb, she would not get impregnated, because most of the time, if you think about it, women get into situations that they are potentially really dangerous. And thank God we don't live in that dangerous world anymore, but at the same time, it's really dangerous. You know, take an example, Tinder, meeting strangers to go and have sex with, and that's no danger according to women's logic. That's not dangerous. Because you're meeting someone on an app that you've never seen before, and you just go and share your body with them. That's bloody deluded. You can end up a salami. You know, the guy can mince your body and sell it on the dark web. I don't know. We are crazy. I know. So perhaps I deviated from the subject. I don't really care about women. I don't care about anyone, to be honest. But even more, I don't care about women. I can't say that I care about them, because I don't. I would be a liar. Okay? Not that I care about men either. Let's get that straight. I don't care about anyone. I don't care. I don't know. I think caring is a choice, and so far, I didn't choose to care. And it took me until recently to realize, to stop lying to myself that I care, because caring is courageous, and I'm definitely not a courageous person. So since I don't care about women or men, it bugs me to see the youth. I mean, really, really young, the girls. You know, I don't like seeing the girls copying the women today. That bugs me. It bugs me because they don't know much. They are naive and ignorant, and I think it's really unfair. I think we should educate the youth, because like I said in my previous video with the drug addicts, it's really difficult to work with a broken adult. Now, I'm not saying we should disregard broken adults, but it's really and much more difficult to work with a broken adult that has had already their foundation, and their foundation is rotten. It's taking years, depending on everyone's level and intellect and their willingness to change. So I would leave aside the adults. If I could focus, I would rather focus on children. Educating and guiding children, and I'm not talking about now educating, giving them necessarily, teaching them math, and even though we should all know math, because I realize that the world scams you if you don't know math. But anyway, that's entirely another subject. Educate them as in educate them about the world, because a lot of people are educated in schools and in good schools, and then they get out there in the world and they don't know anything about themselves or the world. And you're dealing with people a lot of the time, if not 95% of the time, you're dealing with humans. And if you're not educated about humans, you're going to be puzzled as in, why do people behave like that? Wow. Now I can see why I rarely can follow women's YouTubers, because it's really difficult to have a clear from A to B sentence idea. Anyway, I've gone off track again. But as I said, I don't care. I care more about the young women that are going to become women now. I think they should be guided, because they're going to be the next generation. Whatever they learn now, they're going to pass on to their children. And that's why everything is repetitive. It has connection. We are connected with each other. Maybe I'm simplifying this, but good. Start at the really when we start to build a foundation, hence the youth, well, you could say this is like the chicken and the egg. Well, if you don't have the adults that they are knowledgeable in how to guide young people, then how are you going to guide the young people, because you don't have the adults? So I don't know. I don't have the solution, because if I would have had a solution, perhaps I would have done that. Yeah, so I don't like seeing how women behave, especially if they have children and the children are witnessing this. I have friends, single moms with children, and not only that, these women have destroyed their chance to have a decent relationship with a man because the way they behave, but at the same time the children have to witness, you know, women get nuts, women go nuts because it's our body, and you just can't help it. You're nuts anyway. You're nuts from when you're a teenager, when the hormones are start to pump. I understand that because of the volatility of the hormones, women are going to react in all sorts of ways, and because it's really difficult to not follow your biology. You know, when your progesterone and estrogen are pumping inside of you, you just feel either really, really emotional or really, really irritated, and it takes a lot of years of control and the willingness to stop following your biology and control your emotions and your reactivity. So since you're not doing that, the children are the ones who have to witness this, because there is no man around to help you deal with that, or basically, or even put you in your place. So I witness a lot of single moms, single young mothers that are just spilling out the tea to the children, and that bugs me. I don't like that. I don't like that because we kind of make children responsible for our feelings, because I don't feel good because I don't have a man that supports me. I don't feel safe. I'm lashing out at my children because they're the ones close to me and they have nowhere to go, and they're the only person around me. This, I'm going to lash out to them. And yeah, I'm not okay with that. But like I said, how much not okay I'm with that, and what is it that I'm doing to change that? So far, I haven't done nothing, so I can't quite say that it bugs me that much, because I haven't done anything to change that. And maybe that's not for me to change. I don't know. Did I make any sense? I don't know. I hope I've answered a little bit from the question. Thank you so much for so many questions. Like, I just couldn't hold myself together with so many questions. I don't think I'll be able to handle a lot of questions right now. So I'm grateful for a few questions and good questions. Anyway, like always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed a little bit from the ramble of thoughts I often have. If you have any suggestions how I could improve my content, please let me know. And yeah, until next time, see ya!